it's Lisa here. So today's video is all about how to reframe your negative thoughts. Reframing is a great tool to use whenever you struggle with disordered or self-critical thoughts. It helps to direct your focus towards something more helpful instead of just being sucked into the negativity that will just keep on sabotaging your recovery process. And if you need some guidance on recovery, please check out my book, Everything I Did to Get to My Full Recovery. And also I have a few online courses on my website on how to recover step by step. All links are in the description. So now let's get started with today's video. So what is the reframing and why is it important? Reframing is a way to look at any thought or experience or a situation in a more positive, helpful, and also rational way. Most often when it comes to recovery, we have so many negative and critical thoughts, and most often the thoughts are really blown out of proportion. They are often catastrophizing the whole situation. They are not rational or realistic. Often they vision the worst case scenario, but all of this is likely very far from the reality and not true at all. But when it comes to your brain doesn't understand if something is really happening in your reality or you are just imagining this happening. If it's just a made-up scenario in your head, like whatever you feed your brain takes it as a fact and then reacts accordingly. So if you keep on telling yourself that I will just gain and gain and it will never stop, or that nobody will love you if you gain weight, or that this food is so toxic for me, and then your brain will react these extreme ways, creating this extreme fear, extreme anxiety, because it assumes that all of this, what you're just imagining in your head happening, must be a fact. But you have to understand that your thoughts are not facts. They are just like a fiction of your mind. Not all thoughts are true, and most importantly, not all thoughts are helpful. So if you have a lot of extreme anxieties and extreme fears around recovery, you must really start looking into your thoughts. And especially, what are you believing and constantly saying to yourself? And one good way to start doing it is to learn how to reframe them to something more positive, more helpful, and realistic instead. So how to reframe your thoughts? And you can follow this 4-step process. Firstly, become aware of your thoughts, especially the negative and critical ones. Or notice whenever you feel any fear or anxiety or guilt or shame, then ask yourself, what am I thinking, believing, or telling myself right now? Next, write down the critical thoughts or the self-talk that you notice. For example, maybe you have thoughts or beliefs like, if I would be thinner, I would be happier. I am just binging and out of control. Everybody is judging my eating. Just notice those thoughts and write them down. The next step is to start challenging those thoughts. Start to challenge those thoughts by asking yourself, what is a more helpful and positive way to look at this? Or if I would give advice to a person I love who, let's say, is in the same situation, then what would I say? And the next step is to write down the positive and more helpful reframe. And here I'm going to give you some examples. For example, the negative thought says, if I would be thinner, I would be happier. So the more helpful reframe could be, when I was thinner, I still hated my body and wished I was even thinner. I wasn't actually happier, as it was never good enough. Happiness is a mindset, not a number on a scale. Or another negative thought, I am just binging and out of control. The helpful reframe could be, I'm going through recovery and it is extreme hunger. It is normal and it will pass. Eating a lot of food is a normal reaction to the past of restriction and food deprivation. Or another negative thought, everybody's judging my eating. So a more helpful reframe could be, it is very likely that nobody cares. And even if they do, it's a reflection of their own diet mindset. It's not personal. And I can work on letting go of my own judgment towards myself first. So this is the basic process you can use to reframe your negative thoughts. I recommend doing this as a daily practice in your recovery, because I know for most people in recovery, negative disordered thoughts can be a daily thing. So it can be very helpful. Instead of dwelling on them, you would reframe reframe them to something more helpful. This kind of practice and exercise literally helps to wire your brain and like the neural connections in your brain. Changing those old eating disorder behaviors around food are definitely so important part of recovery. But you can't change a behavior if you're not going to change the thoughts and beliefs that are fueling those behaviors. If on a mental level nothing changes, then it's just a matter of time that those behavioral changes are not going to be sustainable and you will relapse, because it's the mental thing that is going to keep you going on recovery and on your full recovery long term. So to change a behavior truly long term, you have to change the thoughts and beliefs behind the behavior that are fueling those behaviors in the first place. So find the journal and start reframing your thoughts. Challenge yourself to see a situation in a different and more helpful and positive and rational ways, and do this mental exercise and training of your brain. And if you're interested more about the recovery journaling, I'm gonna recommend you another video about journaling that I have created, and I'm gonna link it down below. So this is it for today's video. I really hope it was helpful, and as always, please check out my book, step by step everything I did to fully recover from my bulimia and orthorexia, extreme dieting, over exercising and everything. And also check out the online courses on my website. All the links will be down in the description. And please like this video if you find it helpful, and also subscribe to my channel to be up to date whenever I post a new video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.